Hello again, and welcome. Michael Pizzolla here. I'd like to welcome you to this value capping rant. And today we're going to talk about the 2015 Florida and Louisiana Derbies. Two big prep races for the upcoming Triple Crown. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Michael Pizzolla. I am author of the best-selling book, Handicapping Magic, co-author of Pace Makes the Race, and the creator of the original online racing forum. I'm the publisher of the Post Time Daily 2.0, great online past performances, and Black Magic Ultimate Handicapping software, and the upcoming Value Capper software. So, every year, I seem to have this conversation about how, as much as we like to be fans, we have to keep our heads about us for these prep races and the Triple Crown races. Every time we have this conversation, it seems that I want to emphasize how important it is to wait for real opportunities. Now, many Derby preps, and not just the preps, the Triple Crown races themselves are just filled with unknown factors. They tend to be unclear. And by that I mean there are foreign horses, horses that have never run in the country in the U.S. before, horses, many horses on layoffs. Well, of course, they're being pointed for the prep race or the Triple Crown races. And, of course, we have young horses going long distances they've never seen before, and so forth. So, when sprinters stretch out for the first time, some of them adapt, some of them don't. I mean, we can tell and guess by how they expend their energy, their breeding, and so forth, and so on. But these are kind of unknown factors. So it's the purpose, the whole point of value capping, which is what I call handicapping with the intent not to find the winner of the race necessarily, but to find a good value investment. And then, yes, of course, we hope it wins, but we know going in, making the bet, and that's the time to celebrate. When we make the bet, we have made a good investment. And really, that's all we can do. So that's the purpose of value capping, is to find horses that you like, that have some good things going for it, but that the public shouldn't, okay? Very often in these prep races and in these Triple Crown races, there's just, you can't find a horse you like because, well, I've got 6 unknowns out of 10 horses and what to do. Or the public's got the right horses. It's horses I like, but that the public likes as well. And we're going to see that in the Florida Derby, the 2015 Florida Derby. And yet, there's a bit of a racing fan in all of us. Otherwise, we wouldn't be interested in the game. I don't know. I long for this moment again. I was there in 1973 when Secretariat blew away the field, 31 lengths. Here's Ronnie Turcotte looking over his shoulder, and I don't think he could believe how far in front he was. When they put up that time, I was sitting there right by the finish line, but I could see the fractional splits, and then we put that 109 and change for 6 furlongs up. I thought I was going to see either the greatest thoroughbred performance or a great tragedy. But I want a Triple Crown winner. I want to see a horse like Secretariat again. And so hope springs eternal. Having said that, we're going to take a look at these races now, and we're just going to treat them as investment opportunities and see if we can kind of bifurcate our fan, where it's nothing wrong with being a fan, a recreational, and and rooting for a horse that we really like, and then the part of us that wants to treat this game as a sober investing vehicle. So let's go take a look at the upcoming Florida Derby and Louisiana Derby for 2015. All right, so here we are at Black Magic Ultimate Handicapper software. That's the tool I use to find these horses that I like that the public shouldn't. And here is the summary grid for the 2015 Bessilou Stables Florida Derby. First thing we notice is take a look at Upstart. Upstart is 5-2 on the Black Magic odds line, 2-1 contention. Contention is kind of my guess, or the software's guess of what the horse should go off, and he's 8-5 morning line. Now, the next horse down is 9-2, the 4-horse It's a Knockout, who's the second morning line favorite. And then we have the 7, the third morning line favorite. In races like this, I would look to see if there is what I call anti-value in these horses. In the case of Upstart, quote-unquote wrong or anti-value, it just won the Fountain of Youth, and before that, the Holy Bull. Now, with the Fountain of Youth, it got DQ'd, of course, and It's a Knockout got put up. But look, here's the thing. It's a Knockout is the second morning line favorite. So in some cases, you agree with the crowd. Your analysis puts you on the same thing as the crowd. So what do? You go get a cup of tea or an espresso and you relax. Now, if I were going to look for a long price, and by the way, the third horse on the line is Materiality. I mean, that's the third morning line favorite. So we go right down. The Black Magic Ultimate Handicapper software came up with a long price horse in the ARC, a couple of long prices, the 8 Decabrist, and it's 5-1 on the odds line, 40-1 contention, 30-1 morning line. Oh boy. Yes, I mean, technically this would be a horse to look at, as would Quimet. I would have to get huge prices to consider it. The other thing arguing for the logical, quote-unquote logical horses is Upstart. In a highly pressured race is the lone closing horse, according to Black Magic's acupressure. So, bottom line, I know that Upstart, It's a Knockout, and even Materiality will all be bet. Those are the logical horses. I don't see a real value play emerging. If I were going to dabble, okay, or make a recreational play on this, I would take a look to the 8 and the 5 Decabrist and Wime, or Quimet. I don't know how they pronounce that. I'm more comfortable looking at races like the 8th. And by the way, you should always look at the undercards. I mean, here's a race. I've got 4 horses above random. The top horse, the 8, Pants on Fire. And by the way, this is the Gulfstream Park 8th race from March 28th. Pants on Fire is off a layoff from December. It's been working well and all. But then I look second on the line. I have the 5 horse, Terranich, 5-1, 11-1 contention, 12-1 morning line. Just won a little handicap at Tampa. Don't see much wrong with it. If I get anything like 10-1 on this horse, I'll be investing. Now, that's the kind of analysis that took 30 seconds, and that's the kind that I like. So look to the undercards, okay? Now, let's take a quick look at the Louisiana Derby. And here again, we see this is kind of interesting, because here are the colts and geldings that Black Magic looks to as being good in the field. We notice that the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th horses are all of the morning line favorites. However, and by the way, International Star should be the favorite in the race. It just won the Risen Star at Fairgrounds. Coming out of that race is War Story, who finished 2nd to International Star, and Keen Ice, who finished 3rd. There's a horse out of that common race called A Day in Paradise, the 5 horse. And Black Magic Ultimate Handicapper has it right on top. 7-2 on the Blam line, 9-2 on contention, 12-1 morning line. And, you know, it just won this little handicap at Sam Houston. Before that, it finished 2nd at a very nice allowance race at Fairgrounds. Now, would I take this horse at, 4 or 5-1? No, but if it's close to its morning line and this horse goes off near double digits, I'd have no problem betting this one. But here's a possibility for a good, solid, long-priced horse. Do I think this horse could be a champion? I'm honestly not sure, but there's an opportunity for a good, solid, long-priced value investment. So again, I would look to the undercards. I looked very quickly, and don't forget, this is the day before. I don't have scratches. I don't know what the weather is going to be like. Last time I looked, there was rain in the forecast, big surprise. But I would look to races like the 9th race, the Fairgrounds Oaks, where, sure, there's a heavy favorite. I'm a Chatterbox, the 6. But then you got interesting horses like the 3 Jugney and the 2 Desert Valley, who are 20-to-1 morning lines and are, have some good possibilities. So there are some ideas for you. So bottom line, I'm probably going to pass the Florida Derby as far as an investment, because I think they've got the right horses. An upstart, it's a knockout materiality. Maybe some action with the 8 and maybe even the 5, but not as a serious investment. Louisiana Derby, I'd be interested in this Day in Paradise if I can get a decent price, more toward the morning line than the contention. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this analysis. I hope you enjoyed looking at these races with me, with Black Magic, but more important, with the view of value capping to find horses you like that the public shouldn't. And when there aren't any, you pass the race and you look for other opportunities in the undercards and the rest of the races that day. So for now, this is Michael Pizzolla saying, be well, enjoy this great game of ours, and let the bet make you. I'll see you soon.